Chapter-9 Human Environment, Settlement, Transport and Communication. Let's learn. Settlement and their different types. Transport, roadways, railways, airways, waterways. Communication. Humans populate villages, towns and cities. The location of populated centers depends on environmental and cultural factors. The function that a population center performs decides its shape and size. Human-environment interaction means how people affect their environment and how their environment affects them. Early human beings depended entirely on nature for food, clothing, and shelter. But with time they learned new skills to grow food, build homes, and develop better means of transport and communication. In doing this, they modified the environment where they lived. Settlements. Settlements are places where people build their homes. Early human beings lived on trees and in caves. When they started to grow crops, it became necessary to have a permanent home. The settlements grew near the river valleys as water was available and land was fertile. With the development of trade, commerce and manufacturing, human settlements became larger. Settlements flourished and civilizations developed near river valleys. The natural conditions for an ideal human settlement site are favorable climate, suitable land, availability of water, and fertile soil. Brain tickler. Which type of house is very common in areas of hot climate? Types of settlements. Temporary settlement. Settlements which are occupied for a short time are called temporary settlements. The people living in deep forests, hot and cold deserts and mountains often dwell in such temporary settlements. They practice hunting, gathering, shifting cultivation, herding and transhumance. However, more and more settlements today are permanent settlements. Transhumance is a seasonal movement of people who rear animals move in search of new pastures according to changes in seasons. Here are the pictures of temporary settlement and permanent settlement. In permanent settlement, you have the rural settlements and the urban settlements. In rural settlements, you can have the compact, scattered or radial settlement and also the circular and linear settlement. In urban settlements, you can have administrative towns, defense towns, industrial towns, transport towns, and cultural towns. Permanent settlements. In a permanent settlement, people build homes to live in, which is of two types, rural and urban. Rural settlements. Any settlement in which most of the people are engaged in agriculture, forestry, mining, fishery, crafts work, trading, etc. is known as a rural settlement or a village. It is often called an agricultural workshop. A rural settlement has only a few houses and limited services. A typical village has utilities such as a market, post office, school, primary health center, etc. Local materials like stones, mud, clay, straw, etc. are used to construct houses. Houses have thick walls which are mud plastered and have thatched roofs in hot regions. In high rainfall regions, the roofs are slanting and houses may be built on stilts to avoid flooding. Rural settlements can be broadly classified according to their shape under the following patterns: compact, scattered, linear, circular and radial. Info hive. Settlements which develop around areas where mineral deposits are found form the mining cities. Compact settlements. A compact settlement is a closely built area of dwellings wherever flat land is available. It is based on farming, in which the houses are built very close to each other and around a central point like a market. This settlement is also known as a nucleated settlement. They are mostly found in fertile river valleys and plains. Info hive. Smog is a thick haze of smoke and fog. Scattered settlements. In scattered settlements, the houses are built far from each other. That is, they are scattered over a large area. This type of settlement is mostly found in hilly tracts, thick forests, and regions of extreme climate, that is hot or cold deserts. Radial settlements. Radial settlements are those where streets develop in every direction around a common point and give it a star-like appearance. Linear settlements. A settlement where the houses are built along a transport route, road, river or canal, is called a linear settlement. Houses are built in rows facing each other. The rural settlement is linear in valleys and mountainous areas, rectangular in fertile plains, circular near the lakes and ponds, triangular at crossroads, and in exceptional cases, it resembles the nebular form, while on river terraces it is a star type. Generally, the rural areas have low density of population as compared to urban ones. Circular settlements. A circular settlement usually develops in a great level area around a lake or a pond. These water bodies provide water for different village activities such as bathing, cattle bathing, washing clothes, etc. Urban settlements. Urban population is centered in towns and cities. The towns are small and the cities are larger. In urban areas, the people are mostly engaged in manufacturing, trading, and services. Cities can be classified into 5 types, that is, administrative cities, defense cities, cultural cities, industrial cities, and junction cities. Administrative cities. Administrative cities are those where the administrative activities related to a particular region or country are conducted. For example, New Delhi, Canberra, and Washington, D.C. Brain tickler. Where do you find dwellings made of ice? Defense cities. Defense cities are cities where military activities take place, such as Mao in Madhya Pradesh and Barakpur in West Bengal. Cultural cities. Urban settlements which are famous for culture, art, and education are called cultural cities. This category includes Varanasi, Madurai, Kolkata, Ujjain, Rome, Vienna, Paris, etc. Industrial cities. Industrial cities are centers of production and manufacture of a variety of goods. Seoul in South Korea, Sao Paulo in Brazil, Mumbai, Kolkata, Bangalore, and Ahmedabad in India, and Detroit City in United States are prominent industrial cities. Junction cities. These are located at the crossroads of railways or major roads. Examples are Chicago, Moscow, and Mughal Sarai. Rural-urban relationship. Urban and rural areas are closely linked, each contributing to the other. This needs to be considered in development planning. Many fast-growing cities are within areas with the most rapid increase in the value of agricultural production. For instance, the urban centers serving areas are producing high-value fruit or vegetables, coffee or tea, and other high-value crops such as silk cocoons. A proportion of the urban poor derive some or most of their livelihood from meeting rural demands. Transport. Transport is the means by which people and goods move from one place to another. In the early days, it took a great deal of time to travel long distances. People had to walk and used animals to carry their goods. Invention of wheel made transport easier. With the passage of time, different means of transport developed to a great extent. Transport also linked centers of production and consumption. Today, even skills and ideas through people move from one location to another using transport systems. They include roadways, railways, airways, and waterways. Roadways. The most commonly used means of transport are the roads, especially for short distances. Roads can be metalled pakka and unmetalled kacha. They are the best means to link the rural and urban areas across the country. In developed countries, road network is very good. The plains have a dense network of roads because it is much easier to construct them in plains than in mountains. In India, we have national highways connecting all major cities of the country. There are state highways and district roads which connect all the cities and towns. Manali-Leh Highway in the Himalayan mountains is the highest roadway in the world. Roads built underground are called subways, whereas flyovers are built over raised structures. Expressways are latest addition to the Indian road network. Modern highways provide high-speed transport. Roads have now been built in deserts, forests and mountains. Eastern USA and Western Europe boast of the densest and best quality roads in the world. The Trans-East African Highway connecting Cairo and Cape Town is nearing construction. Australia has the Transcontinental Stuart Highway as its major road link. Brain tickler. Can you name the oldest road in India? Railways. Railways are the fastest and the cheapest means of land transportation over longer distances. Diesel and electric engines have largely replaced the steam engines. Electric engines are fast and eco-friendly. They don't cause pollution. Railways carry the bulk of raw materials to industrial centers and then transport finished goods to various parts of the country and to ports for export. With developing technology in high-speed trains, connectivity with inaccessible areas have become a reality. For instance, the Lhasa-Xining train runs at an altitude of 4,000 meters above sea level. The Trans-Siberian Railway is the longest rail route connecting St. Petersburg in western Russia to Vladivostok on the Pacific coast. The Trans-Montane Rail network runs across the Pyrenees, the Alps, and the Carpathians in Europe. The railway network in Africa, Australia, Asia, and South America was developed by the imperialist European countries to exploit the natural resources of the regions. Factors responsible for the construction of railway lines are relief features, climatic conditions, density of population and availability of resources. Railway network is more developed in the plains than in the mountains. Indian railway network is well developed and is the fourth largest in the world. Waterways. Waterways are the oldest and the cheapest means of transportation to carry heavy and bulky goods over long distances. Waterways are mainly of two types, inland waterways and sea routes. Inland waterways. Navigable rivers, canals and lakes are used as inland waterways. Some of the important inland waterways are the Ganga-Brahmaputra river system, the Great Lakes in North America, and the River Nile in Africa. St. Lawrence is the world's busiest inland waterway. Other important inland waterways are the Amazon, the Yangtze, the Mississippi, and the Rhine. Some of the busiest canals are the Suez, the Panama, and the Kiel. The development and traffic on the waterways depends on the continuity of flow and depth of the water body. Sea routes and oceanic routes are mostly used for transporting merchandise and goods from one country to another. These routes are connected with the ports. Some of the important ports of the world are Singapore, Hong Kong, Shanghai, Tokyo and Mumbai in Asia, New York, Los Angeles and Chicago in North America, Rio de Janeiro in South America, Durban and Cape Town in Africa, Sydney in Australia, and London and Rotterdam in Europe. Important sea routes of the world are North Atlantic route, which connects eastern North America with western Europe, Mediterranean Sea, Indian Ocean route connecting Europe, East Africa, Cape of Good Hope, South Asia and Far East. Major seaports of India are Mumbai, Kandla, Kochi, Chennai, Vishakhapatnam, Kolkata. Airways. This is the fastest and most comfortable means of transportation and also the most expensive due to high consumption of fuel. Air traffic is adversely affected by bad weather like fog, storms, etc. It is the only mode of transport to reach the most remote and distant areas, especially where there are no roads or railways. Helicopters are extremely useful in most inaccessible areas and in times of calamities for rescuing people and distributing food, water, clothes and medicines. Some of the important international airports are Delhi, Mumbai, New York, London, Paris, Tokyo, Rome, Shanghai, Sydney, Dubai, Rio de Janeiro, San Francisco and Frankfurt. Air services are of two types. Domestic airways that fly within the boundaries of a country, and international airways that fly abroad and connect major cities of the world. Perishable and expensive goods are mostly transported through airways. Communication. Communication is the process of conveying messages, sending or receiving, and ideas to others. Today's world is shrinking because various modes of communication provide us worldwide information and interaction. With the development of technology, humans have devised newer and faster modes of communication. The invention of printing press, radio, television, satellites, radar and computers has greatly revolutionized the communication system. Satellites have helped in oil exploration, survey of forests, underground water, mineral wealth, weather forecast and disaster warning. Postal and telegraph services, telephones, emails, etc. are personal means of communication. Through newspapers, magazines, radio, television, films, etc., communication can be done with a large number of people at the same time. This is known as mass communication. Mass communication can provide both education and entertainment. Wireless telephonic communications through mobile phones have become very popular today. Internet not only provides us with worldwide information and interaction, but has also made our lives more comfortable. It carries many network services, most prominently mobile apps, the World Wide Web, electronic mail, internet telephony, etc. Humans and the environment affect each other. We depend on it. People depend on environment such as rivers for water supply and transportation. We modify it. People modify their environment by heating and cooling buildings for comfort, building dams, cutting and planting trees, etc. We adapt to it. People adapt to environment by wearing clothing suitable for summer shorts and winter coats, changing our diet with seasons, etc. Recap. Human-environment interaction means how people affect their environment and how their environment affects them. Settlements are places where people build their homes. They are of two types, temporary and permanent. The villages are rural settlements where people are engaged in activities like agriculture, fishing, forestry, crafts work, trading, etc. Transport is the means by which people and goods move from one place to another. Communication is the process of conveying messages and ideas to others. Mass communication can provide both education and entertainment.